It's a really good time to attract international visitors. And I want to give you the 10 tips to do so. I'm Wendy Pease from Rapport International, here to support the GBCVB. Number one, you want to make sure that you have your corporate goals lined out and that your marketing goals support that. And then you can create your multilingual marketing goals. If all of those are in alignment, it's easier to move ahead. Number two, set goals and objectives. How are you going to know if you're doing a good job? So set goals and objectives that are measurable, that you can track your progress so you can make adjustments to get better as you go. Number three, decide on what language you want to translate into. There are different ways to think about it. Maybe you already have some capabilities in one language. That's a good place to start. Maybe you have visitors coming in that already speak a language, so it would be natural to target those and build word of mouth. Or number three, look at who the visitors are that you want to attract that are most visiting Massachusetts. Number four, consider the buyer's journey. If you haven't heard of the buyer's journey, that's the way to attract them so they don't even know about you and they learn about you. Then engage them. How do you bring them in and give them information so they want to come to you and really participate in whatever you have to offer? And then you want to delight them. So when they're there, they have a fabulous experience and they go back and tell all their friends about it. Now, you probably already have some marketing content and you can categorize it into those three stages. So what content is in the attract phase? That would be information that would be, they're trying to figure out what they're going to do in Boston. They need something that is kid-friendly. So, they have a question or a problem, as it's called in marketing. They're looking to solve it. And so you want to have information that can answer their question, give them options. To engage with them, what you want to do is give them a way to buy tickets or find you or ask questions. And then to delight them, you need any information that they need while they're there visiting you. So if you have pamphlets, if you have a tour, anything like that, you want to make sure it's also adapted so they can read that and engage it. Now, once you've lined out your information on the attract, engage, and delight stages, then look through and see what's your most popular information and put a star next to that, because that's where you'd start to do your translation. You don't need to do everything all at once. You just do the parts that you need to do. So that's step number 5. Step number 6 is identify your search terms and anything that can help with your SEO, like your URL, your tags, your descriptions, anything that are going to drive people to your website. You got to remember to translate that so people can find you. Number 7, why don't you start with your website? Now, your website is probably full of information, just chock full with lots of content. That could be a really big project to translate. You can do your full website, but you can start with a microsite, which is just the parts that you're going to offer to the visitors that are coming in. If a microsite with too many pages is too much to start with, then you can do a landing page that would answer the questions that you need to do. Number 8 is really important. Find a high quality translation provider that specializes in marketing translation. There's all sorts of different translation agencies that you can go to. Make sure they really understand how you want to capture the message and adapt it so it makes sense to the target audience you're attracting. And don't use Google Translate. That's a whole other video that I can get into. Number 9, reuse your content. If you have your content in your attract, engage, and delight stages, then you can pluck out information like we talked about. But that same information could be used at different places. So once you've translated something, make sure you're using those translations over and over again. It saves you money, plus it's consistency of voice, which is really good for messaging. And number 10, your final step is reap the rewards. People are gonna start traveling. Boston's a hot destination. We get a lot of international visitors. And why shouldn't you be somebody to attract those visitors in and really engage with them? I hope it helps. I'm Wendy Pease from Rapport International. I'm a member. I sit on the Multicultural Board, and I'm here and happy to answer any questions that you might have.